Hello and welcome to Ridey Bikes. Today I'm going to change the oil on the 690, but I'm not going to do it the way it says in the manual. No. So it's that time, summer is approaching, the lockdown, everyone hopes, is nearly over. Probably not going to be over for a little while yet, but in preparation for the new season of riding in the summer, I think it's time I change my oil. It's not been an enormous amount of time, it's only been about 1,500 miles since I last did the oil change, but I figure coming into a new season, might as well, right? So if you have your owner's manual for your 690, whether it be your Duke or your SMC or your Enduro or whatever, there's nothing wrong with the way the manual says you should do it. If you do have the manual and you feel more comfortable using that as your guideline, fair enough. But over the years, I have found a slightly different way, a slightly messier way of doing it. But for me, it makes sure that I get the cleanest oil possible moving forward. So if you want to see it done a different way, check it out. First things first, you need to warm your bike up. Not hot, just warm. Don't take it for like a 2-hour ride, just run it for like a few minutes, maybe like 5. I took mine round the block. It's not a very big block, so it's probably riding for about a minute and a half. That'll do, that'll do. The reason for that is quite simply that the oil becomes runnier. There is a technical better word for that. Lower viscosity. Before we get started, there are a few tools that you will need. You should have everything you need in your standard KTM toolkit that came with the bike. I got really... Sorry. Off the top of my head, I need 10 socket and 8 socket, a certain size of Allen key, blue roll, lots of blue roll, drain pan, or in my case, 4 drain pans. What else? Oh, you'll need oil enough to fill your engine up, and you will need your new filters, and maybe you might need to replace your reusable oil filters, and you will need a new oil drain plug crush washer. That's the one. Generally speaking, you won't need the Allen key thing actually. It's only because I have replaced one of the bolts on one of the oil filters. Bike is warm, let's get the bash plate off. These are 10s. 1. Oops. So now we can just slide this off. The way I'm going to do it is slightly messier. So blue roll is both for precaution and for cleaning. So what I'm going to do, this stuff is particularly thin. Double it up. Hopefully the wind won't blow it away. If you're doing it in your mop clean, super smooth garage, then you don't need to worry about this. This is a communal space. This is where your oil cans come in. Gloves. We need gloves. Your drain plug, first screen plug, second screen plug, they're all 13s. Here it comes. There's your drain plug. Look at it, it's like crude oil. That should be equally messy. Oh, catch it. Your first filter, so we let that drain. The second filter, that was seized. Wow, it looks pretty black. Now, this is one of the bits that you won't find in any manual. Start the engine. So I just ran the engine for about a minute, but like an idiot, I didn't record it. But there is now loads of oil all over my front tyre, so put some blue roll on your tyre before you do that bit. Give this a proper clean at the end. Yeah, now you see why I need 4 drain cans just to be on the safe side. You could probably do it with 3. Right, so let's get these bolts out. Bit of blue roll. Leave that there for a second. Now the manual says to use these weird reverse plier things, but I find that these magnetic things, picking out bolts out of engines and whatnot, chuck it in the middle, bit of a wiggle, and hey presto. Bit of blue roll in there, clean it out. Just whack the new one in straight away once you've cleaned it out. Make sure it seats in. There you go, you can feel it click into place. Don't put it in the wrong way round. Check that your O-ring, a little rubber ring around here, is in good nick. Oh, it's all right. It go on either way, but I always like to have the writing the right way up. So it's really important with these bolts here, or with any bolts that you have, don't over tighten them. When I bought this bike, because you'll see on the other side, previous owner, or one of the previous owners, like I think had just destroyed one of the threads. So I actually had to go up a bolt size to fix it. These don't need to be super tight, just nice and snug. So on this side, you can see previous owner massively overtorqued this one and just threaded it. So I had to redo it and make it a slightly bigger bolt size. So again, these don't need to be super tight. Uh-oh, no blackness. Hold on. Black and blue, sadly, the flavor of lockdown for many people. Let's get this off. Bolt out, bolt out. Give it a little wiggle. Your magnet. Just get all that oil out of there. Boom. And again, don't muck about, just pack the new one straight in. Make sure it's all nice and clean. Check your rubber O-ring. This one was new, customer did an oil change, so yeah, we're good about that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, these bolts need to be 6 Newton meters, which is nothing. So the next thing to do is check out your reusable oil filter screens. You don't have to order these every time, but you know, they're pretty robust. If they've got any breaks in them, obviously replace them, but they are reusable. So don't feel like you've got to buy one every time and dash these in the bin. It's quite wasteful. So just some warm water, as hot as you can bear, give them a rinse. Get any gunk out from inside of them, and obviously have a really good look to make sure there's no breakages in them. And then dry them. So check your drain plug. This is for my second replaceable oil filter. Get all that gunk out, make sure it's nice and clear. Now, these two filters are the same and they're both double-ended, so don't agonize over putting them in, just get it in like that. Tighten it down. The oil filter, replaceable filter ones are 15 Newton meters, is not much at all, so don't go mad. So again, check your plug, make sure it's free of any previous grit or grime. Have a good look at your O-ring, and again, double-ended doodah just fits in there. Come on, in you go. Do that up nicely. So it's only 15, don't overdo it. Now, the oil drain plug. A good gauge of what's going on inside your engine. These bits are magnetic, they collect a little bit of metal filings, so you want to get that off. This is pretty clear, I'm pleased to say. So you want to replace the washer. Some will say you don't have to, but this time round I'm actually going to do it. There it is, looks somewhat different to the one that I've been using. It's done the job, not had any leaks at all. Like that one there, on you go. There we go, here we go. Now this one is 20 Newton meters. Right, so now we've got all the plugs deep inside all the holes. We can put some oil in. Right, so all the plugs are back in. Because we have ran the engine with all the plugs out and we've forced pretty much all the oil we can get out of the engine out, we can now put in the genuine amount that is recommended for the engine, which is 1.7 litres. I'm going to use the Crosspower 10W60. You can use 10W50, I think. And from other manufacturers, they recommend this, 10W60. And the great thing about these, get your plug out, it's got a nice little bendy top. And the great thing is, try and do this without spilling it everywhere. It is a perfect fit for that hole, so you can just pop it in and then literally chuck in your first litre. Bloop, 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 bloop. The other great thing about them is that it shows you how much is in the bottle down the side. So to put in 1.7 litres, you need to put in a whole bottle and then down to 3. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Real wax. Pop your cap back in, make sure it's nice and clean. Don't need to overdo it. Grind the engine a little bit, let all the oil work through. Alright, let's have a look. Let's pull the bike upright. There it is. There's the oil, about halfway up. Nice. All done. Boom. That's it. It is one of the more simple oil changes, especially compared to some of the other bikes I've had in the past. We've got 2 different chambers that you've got to drain and so on and so forth. Just a simple how-to on a simple bike. That's it. Thanks very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go to our little shop. You can check out all the endless motorcycle merch. You can buy all sorts of things. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. It's a quick tip. Drain your drain can into your old oil bottles. Makes them easier to take to the recycling centre. Have a good one.